Item B, schools 1%. I believe that's going to be you, Dr. Jones. Good to have you, sir. Sort of hard to follow that one, isn't it?
Mr. Eagle, I will say that family, I believe, goes to Stony Mill, and I believe she's our PTO president at Stony Mill. So
That is true.
It is.
How about that?
Appreciate the opportunity to speak with you this evening, and thank you all very much for passing a resolution just last year to place the sales tax referendum back on the ballot this year. You know, this is an important vote in November, and significant impact will have a significant impact on the county over the next 20 years. I'd like to thank Kaylin McCluster for all that she's done. She has been a tremendous supporter, been out in schools, been out in the communities, so thank you very much for helping us out with this. Also, I think we have in the audience many people who've helped out with a radio advertisements or videos that we're airing right now, so we greatly appreciate their assistance as well. After I speak, I'd like to ask permission if we could have Mrs. Linda Green to speak as well.
Yes, sir.
Mrs. Green is a Vice President for Economic Development at the Institute. She's also the Executive Director of the Southern Virginia Regional Alliance, and she wants to speak this evening as well. But as you're aware, the General Assembly passed a bill that allowed certain localities to, through referendum, issue a 1% sales tax to be used solely for the purpose of capital projects for schools, cannot be used for any other reason. You know, our county is very large. Land area, we're the largest in the state, and we're large as far as student population as well. At this time on our capital improvement plan, we have $70 million worth of needs. We have 8 older elementary schools that range in age from 84 years of age to 58, and they're in need of window replacements, HVAC equipment upgrades, roof repairs, and other renovations. The schools also have 26 mobile units serving as classrooms, and these create safety concerns for staff as students travel outside to get back into the school for lunch, to go to the restroom, or when called to the office. We live in a different world than when these schools were built. And the sales tax referendum funds will pay for the school division to build classrooms to replace those mobile units, so students do not have to leave to go outside to get back into the building to use the restroom or go to lunch. We also plan to construct safety vestibules in each of these schools that do not have them. And that's a double entry system where people can come in, get out of the cold, get out of the rain, but they still have to be identified and buzzed into the school. You know, again, we live in a different world, and we surely want our children to be safe, and that's the first priority for our sales tax referendum fund, is to ensure that our schools are safe.
Yes.
We also want to renovate our classrooms. We want to make innovative learning environment spaces in our schools. You know, our young children are growing up in, a different time, and they're going to compete with other students across the state, but also across the nation and across the globe for college placements and for those coveted jobs that will become available. So we surely want our kids to compete against others. And then we have a program, 19 programs at our Career and Technical Center, and we see business leaders wanting to hire those graduates, as well as parents and students wanting to get into those programs, so we'd like to expand the offerings there. So again, I thank you all for your tremendous leadership and passing that resolution last year to place this opportunity on the ballot in November. I encourage everyone to vote for this. This is quite an opportunity for our school division. At this time, I'd like to ask Mrs. Linda Green to come.
Thank you, Dr. Jones. Good evening, Miss Linda. Good to see you.
Again, I'm Linda Green, live in Bob Warren's district and have been in this county my entire life. Nothing makes me prouder than when I bring economic prospects into our school system. We've had person after person return home to try to mimic what is being done on a shoestring in our community. We're extremely proud of the fact that you put this on the agenda for the vote, so thank you for the resolution. But now it's time for us as citizens to look at what our neighboring counties have done. In all the surrounding cities and counties, they have already passed this. When you shop in Danville, you're paying this for their schools. When you shop in Martinsville, any of the surrounding areas, this is our chance to give back to our students. When we walk into the career and technical school or the middle schools, we have industries asking, how can we improve our industries to meet what you have done here? We had the governor from Arkansas come and spend an entire day in our school systems and return home and fund at 120 plus million what he saw happening here. In the meantime, we still have mobile units. We have security issues. We have a change in school system that's not as safe as it was when we were brought up. We have new challenges for technology and students that will set aside the brightest and the best. Coming from Pittsylvania County, they will excel, but this is our chance to make sure that we're giving them an opportunity to do as well as their surrounding communities. So I thank you for all that you have done. You've been frugal with our money. You've taken good care of us. Now it's time for us as citizens to ante up and say, our children are important. We support you in every fight that you've made to save pennies for the county. Now it's our chance to give back. Not to mention, if we did this through property taxes, it would be much more expensive to us. So this is a simple way for us to give 1 penny on a dollar. So I encourage all of you, all of the citizens in Pittsylvania County to vote yes on this referendum. When we walk the companies through, they're proud of your students, they're proud of our faculty, but our buildings are aging, and we want to make sure we let our citizens and our students know they are their number one responsibility to us. So it's our chance to say thank you back to them. I ask you to join me in voting yes.
Good. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am.
Dr. Jones, to show you how old I am, my children were at Stony Mill when I pleaded with a supervisor at the time to do something about the leaking roof, and it's still leaking. And we need to stand up as citizens and fix our schools, not only from the practical side, but from the safety side. And thank you all so much for what you said. Gentlemen, any comments you'd like to follow?
Thank you so much, Dr. Jones, for doing such a wonderful job you do with the school systems. Ma'am, that was a good speech. I enjoyed that. I will tell you, the citizens tonight, that earlier we had meetings from 2 o'clock up until present, and as I come over here to Chatham, I went and voted, and you got my vote this evening. Just want to let you know, I want to be the example by setting an example. And if you will, please get out. This will keep us from a lot of trouble, and it's a good thing, I think, for our schools, and I'm all for it. I haven't spoke to this point, but thank y'all for really pushing it. I'm all for it, and I can't vote twice, but if I could, I'd go tomorrow. How about that? Thank y'all.
And you know, people that don't live here get to help us pay our bills. This is one of the few taxes that are paid by people just passing through.
That's right.
Thank y'all so much.